Hi, Woods of Odin responding to Satanic International, or is it Satanist International? I don't know. But the description is probably down here now, and I'll link to the video I'm responding to. I would make this a direct response, but I didn't see how, so. But there's a link. Yeah, I agree. Um, First, I'll say strictly physically speaking, without any sort of talk about like other Arthurians or Michelle Ballinger and those kind of psychic vampires. Yeah, there are people who will, in order to get your time, your energy, your effort, your attention, whatever it is they want out of you, your stuff, your money, they will give something to you in order to get as much out of you as they can. Not in order to get something in return, as in, let's have, as in a square deal. You described a situation where somebody bummed a cigarette from you, and she later on gave you a beer. Um, now there might be somebody who's just like, oh, you're a nice guy, so here, have a beer. You listened to me when I needed somebody to listen to me. Hey, have a beer. Fair enough. But you're right. Usually, when people give you things, it's without being asked. They're not being nice. They're not being generous. They're being manipulative. And if somebody wants to sit here and criticize me for being a cynic or something, I think what you want. There are also a number of other techniques that psychic vampires use. Many are attention whores. Others are bullies. Um, they will try to manipulate your your money or your time or your energy, etc., your work, your efforts. Some just play the role of the victim constantly, because people, at least you know, on first impression, will say, well, this person was wronged. I'm going to help this person just because of human empathy. And whoops. And then people will notice a pattern. Oh, this person's life is a wreck and they don't want to fix it because they get stuff from other people by complaining about their life being a wreck. So I agree, those people you have to cut off. Now, there are certainly people that are generous and will give you something because they're nice people. I personally, I like giving people things, not to the degree where, I'm just spent and I no longer have any resources for myself, but it makes me happy to make other people happy. And I don't think I'm better than anybody. I don't even think that I'm unselfish. But it's something I enjoy. I feel good when other people feel good. So I'm apt to give things away to people I know can use them. Or I'm apt to occasionally, if I have a friend, say, well, no, let me get it. I just want to get it because I just want to be a nice person. It's a way of showing I care about people. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm doing it in order to leech as much off of them as I can. Now, if I'm giving and giving and giving and a person isn't giving back, then the relationship is uneven. It's time to stop giving. um, but yeah, cut them off. Also, I've noticed now, whether or not you believe in psychic vampires, as far as people who believe they need other people's energy in order to be healthy, I noticed that a lot of those people um, are absolute drama whores, or they play the victim, or they just constantly irritate the hell out of people intentionally, or they're just, drama queen. Well, I guess a drama whore and a drama queen is the same thing, right? But, yeah, now this isn't everyone. I have a couple of friends online who believe they're psychic vampires, and I can't speak to their experience. I can't say you haven't had this experience, but what I can say is as long as everything's consensual, that's fine. As long as you're not leeching off people, then what do I care? So, yeah, I completely agree, and there's my take on psychic vampires. And this is an interesting topic. I could actually go on about it for a long time because I've run into a lot of different kinds of psychic vampires, and there have been times where I have felt drained, not just psychologically or not just of physical energy. There are times when I have no reason to be drained of energy, and yet just by having associated with an individual, I am drained. So I suspect that the other kind of psychic vampires, the kind that are, the kind that are near the other king community and the Therians and all that, I suspect that there is some validity to that. I suspect that some are actually the real deal. And if you suspect that of yourself, then I would go ahead and I would recommend the Psychic Vampire Codex for one, and there's a lot of information online, so you can be on the up and up and not just leech off people who don't consent. Okay, so yeah, cut off psychic vampires.